In every working environment, from office to manufacturing to construction, one of the most important responsibilities employees have is to maintain a clean, neat, and orderly workplace. Every working environment is also plagued with the fact that you're busy. You've got a big job to perform, and there isn't always time enough to do everything that needs to be done. No matter your job, your craft, or what needs to be accomplished during the day, there is always time enough to keep your work area clean, neat, and orderly. No excuses, no reasons for not doing it. It's simply something that must be done by everyone in the work area. If you drop something, pick it up. If you see something that needs to be corrected, correct it. If you can't correct the hazard, report it to your supervisor so it can be corrected. Safety is an important responsibility, and it's a condition of employment. Maintaining your workplace in a neat, clean, and orderly fashion is a big part of your job, and it certainly is a big part of the safety program. A simple thing such as good housekeeping pays big dividends in the long run. If you stop to think about all the injuries and lost time that has resulted from poor housekeeping, you'd wonder why everyone doesn't participate. We could speculate all day long as to why some people don't pick up after themselves or leave their work area looking like a disaster. But let's talk about some facts. What really causes these unplanned happenings we call accidents. Chiefly, the primary cause of these events are due to being forgetful, tired, lazy, careless, inexperienced, disobeying safety or work rules, or just plain negligent. Attitude is the single cause of most of these unplanned events and injuries. Naturally, unsafe conditions and equipment may play some role, but attitude is the major key to safety in the workplace. If you have a good attitude about safety, you'll automatically keep your work area clean. If you have a poor attitude about safety, you really won't care whether your work area is clean or not. It's that simple. In an effort to gain the assistance of all employees and make everyone more aware of their housekeeping responsibility, let's quickly review some basic tips. Nothing exotic or magical about these reminders. They're all common sense, but by simply paying attention and doing your part to keep the workplace neat, clean, and orderly, you'll go a long way in improving safety, no matter what job you perform. Quite often, loose flooring or other walking surface hazards can be very hazardous. Use caution when walking over loose bricks, tiles, floorboards, stair treads, or other areas. If you spot a hazard, correct it. If you can't correct the hazard, notify your supervisor so the hazard can be corrected before an unplanned happening takes place. When you are walking, always pay attention to where you're going and be aware of the footing. The vast majority of slips and falls are a result of not watching where you're walking. Spills. Don't wait for wet spots to dry themselves. Wipe them up right away. If the wet spot is greasy or oily, use an absorbent material to completely clean up the spill. Even after cleaning an oil or grease spot, the floor surface may still be slippery. Using absorbent material or even common household cleaner to completely remove the oil or grease is recommended. Sawdust and wood shavings are quite slippery and should be cleaned up as you go. Leaving slippery sawdust on walking surfaces is hazardous, and this type of material is also a fire hazard. Take the time to clean up sawdust and wood shavings as often as possible. Stairways. Keep stairs clear. An extra trip upstairs might prevent a serious fall. Don't allow anything to be left on stairs, walkways, or aisles. All materials should be stored in their proper places. Tools and other materials must be kept in their proper places when they're not being used. Don't place sharp objects in your toolbox without some type of protection. You may be in a hurry and reach into a toolbox and pull out a cut finger or hand. Don't store rolling or easy-to-tip-over articles on shelves or carts. Watch out for small pieces of lumber, banding material, masonry, or other objects that could be tripping hazards. All extension cords should lie flat along the floor away from walkways. Quite often, it's better to string electrical cords overhead to protect the cords and keep them out of the way. Remove, cut off, or hammer down protruding nails, staples, or steel strap. When these items are put into containers, use caution. Never reach into the container, as cuts, punctures, or other similar injuries are likely to occur. When working with wood, remove splinters from workbenches, tables, bins, shelving, or chairs. Use a broom and pan when cleaning up broken glass. Never pick up broken glass with your bare hands. It only takes a few seconds to make the area safe, and that's what safety's all about. Using common sense and having a safe attitude in every job you perform. Always work clear of suspended loads. If a load is moved about when you're working, stand aside until the hazard is passed by. When carrying long pieces of equipment such as pipes or ladders around corners or through doorways, watch the ends, or when possible, use two persons. Store waste, oily rags, and other flammable material in covered receptacles provided for that purpose. A fire can put you and others out of work. Refuse containers must not be overfilled. Empty these containers frequently. Keep exits clear at all times. Fire doors should never be blocked or made inoperative. Report hand trucks with broken wheels, splintered handles, or other defects to your supervisor so they can be repaired or replaced. When you're pushing a hand truck or cart, slow down at corners. Be aware of what could happen, then prevent the happening by taking action before it takes place. Slips and falls are very common types of injuries, but they can be prevented. They can be prevented by watching where you walk, by keeping your shoes free of grease, oil, mud as much as possible, and when you see a hazard, correct it. Don't wait for someone else to take care of it. Safety is everyone's job and responsibility. Adequate illumination of the job is important also. If you can't see what you're doing, the more likely you'll experience an injury. Trial and error doesn't work on the job. It takes an effort on your part to recognize potential hazards, then take the action necessary to prevent the hazard from causing an unplanned event such as an injury. Keeping your tools and machines in good repair and cleanliness is an important job. Watching where you walk is important. Cleaning up spills or picking up lumber to prevent an unplanned event is important. When people fall into ground or floor openings such as shafts, pits, excavations, and temporary floor openings, one or more of the following causes are usually responsible. Number one, the openings were not guarded or an excavation was not barricaded. Number two, the openings were not marked with warning devices, lights, or signs. Number three, tripping or slipping hazards contributed to the fall, such as a person tripped over a material and fell. Number four, employees worked unsafely at the edge of the opening without proper protection or caution. There are causes for every type of unplanned event. There are also solutions that will prevent these unplanned events. The solution is you. A good safety attitude is the most important ingredient in any safety program. There's no doubt about it. Those employees with good safety attitudes will prevent injuries. Housekeeping and keeping your work area in a neat, clean, and orderly manner is one of the major responsibilities any employee has at work. Do your part and participate in the safety program. It'll mean greater job efficiency, productivity, and it'll also mean an injury-free work environment.